kids got into Vancouver through their parents, through the living caregiver program, through migrant modern day slavery, the outcomes are that these kids are not, they don't have the same privilege, the same assumption of civic space that I experienced when I grew up, being white and young. So that's why W2 has those 4 pieces. We think as a community cultural project, we have to look at the history, the cultural heritage that we all share. We have to look at where we are. Here we are, incredibly, in the Woodward's Food Court. And in a space that was really inclusive for immigrant communities, came here, did their shopping. And we're not a group, we're not we don't have one lens on. We are looking at this complex. We're hopeful and passionate. We're looking at us at a place like Vancouver, like Woodward's, that in 10 to 20 years, we have a 20-year lease here, by the way. In 10 years, we expect that this atrium outside of our doors here will be one of the major cultural plazas of Vancouver. So it's no coincidence that we fought and we stayed at the table and we volunteered thousands and thousands and thousands of hours to stay at the table to make this project work. And we did it. We did it. We did it. Just to tease my daughter about that. So we did it, but actually the real work is actually now going to start, which is why I'm so appreciative of being invited to talk to you tonight. The real work is going to start, and the real work is, again, we're still poor. We have raised $1.1 million, and we've gotten this far. The space is almost done. We've got 2 broadcasting rooms here. I'm just going to describe the space, the physical environment. 2 control rooms here, where this room is essentially like a community-based soundstage. So 2 broadcasting rooms that go out to Co-op Radio's FM signal and CJSF's FM signal, Novus cable and Shaw cable. So a community meeting, a gathering like this, 3 cameras, live production, and an audience on the internet or at home. So this is a very, very powerful room for the atrium, for Woodward's, for Newman, for the city. This is the first community broadcasting center open in Canada probably in 10 years. So we're reversing the tide of what Rogers and Shaw has done, shutting down access. We're saying, no, actually, CRTC guarantees communities rights to hear their stories on community cable. That's how the cable system is built. So we're kind of naively and boldly opening this space. We want to raise another $200,000 to $300,000 to put a grid system, lighting, sound, increasing sound quality. Capacity is 200 plus. Up the stairs is the cafe, our front porch. Through the video cube, this 34-foot ceiling you may have seen, is our exhibition space. So we'll be inviting artists to stay in residence and create beautiful, beautiful technological wonders to break the digital divide that people can interact with, people can play with, people can text. Low-income people have phones. They can text and interact with this sound design through SMS messaging. They can playfully, the technology can interact with them as they walk up the stairs. There'll be a kiosk right at the front on the ground level. Interact with, record messages, play with this beautiful kiosk, touchscreen kiosk that has telepresence capacity, so they can actually talk to people in other cities. In showing off that technology shouldn't just be in some research lab, but technology can be for the people, and we can learn how to use it. Whether it's teaching middle-aged women Ubuntu, operating systems, or teaching downsized residents how to blog, teaching kids how to produce their own TV show. These are all things that we can do in this building. The second floor also has some other spaces, an open web tech lab, so we're looking at the open web as an important thing to work on for the next decade. We have a meeting room, community meeting room, and public bathrooms. That's something we fought for. This is one of the only public bathrooms in the neighborhood. Probably there's 5 public bathrooms in the whole downtown east side. So again, it's a gesture, but it's actually a very, very important gesture. Probably it'll be one of the most important rooms in the building. Because it has direct value to people. And there's a letterpress. We have the Woodward's Heritage letterpress. So there's designer tools. So you type these can let loose in the design studio. We have about 10,000 pieces of wooden and lead type from Woodward's sign shop. We have member offices, so groups that are in the W2 group coalition. We have open media needed space, needed to grow. We give them that assurance that they can work in our space and they can grow as we grow. And the most important, I would say, microcosm of this whole vision is the incubator, the creative tech incubator. And you're going to hear from 3 people who are imagining ways that the incubator can be of value to people. The incubator is a place that people who face barriers can get support. They've got peer-led projects that need infusion. This is not a VC pitch. They need infusion of mentorship. They need infusion of lowering barriers to access. They need design tips. They need funding tips. They need business plan tips. They need sales plans. They need marketing, social media strategy ideas, so that their idea, their brilliant idea that they have, can actually get to market, can become a service, can become an event for their own communities. And those communities are, again, tend to be marginalized communities. So we position these resources to focus on communities that don't have the access. I mentioned the Filipino youth, inner city Aboriginal communities that need more power, a stronger platform, multi-platform space, so they can participate in this Vancouver. They can imagine that Vancouver includes them. So that's the space design. I mentioned the cafe. The cafe is also our economic engine. It's the front porch I mentioned. It bleeds right into the atrium. So we're really going to be appropriating that atrium space, that public plaza. Right now we're thinking about 2,000 to 2,500 people go through there every day. We're hoping that it'll grow to about 4,000 people a day. So like a train station, like the plaza, the library downtown is this mixing place where working class people, middle class people all come together. And they'll be our customer in the cafe. And that's where we'll make money to pay for the operating costs of the 10,000 square feet. It's going to be a place where we produce a cooking TV show. It's going to be a place where we bring in culinary artists and residents. So it's going to be a fun place. We also hire 10 people. We prioritize hiring Aboriginal people and inner city women. The organizational design, I mentioned that we're somewhat of a coalition. We've got really robust W2 programming, but a lot of the work also happens here from our member groups. So we've got 8 core member groups and 10 associate member groups. And we were inspired by a project in San Francisco called Cell Space, and it's this semi-autonomous cluster of mutually interested parties who needed a building, needed infrastructure, didn't have I see Joel here, who put together the FLAC block, like an incubator, like a place where mutually interested parties can come together and can leverage each other's mutual interest in space. So we can provide admin support, space support for our member groups. Co-op Radio and SFE Radio, they're not moving here, but this is a satellite studio so that they can do live events, live public assembly, and then broadcast. That makes their current program better. So we looked at a model where we could take our member groups and service them, but then also leverage these alignments. The fact that we've got suddenly a community TV group, and we have an inner city Aboriginal hip-hop music production program. Now, you take that, and you always think sum plus. We're not about melding, merging. We really respect the autonomy of each party. Now, what happens when these groups work together and lean on each other and support each other? The community TV producers can actually train the Aboriginal youth in the TV show that they will produce with their hip-hop. Use W2's fiber connection to APTN, and suddenly we've got an East End hip-hop show broadcast nationally every Sunday. Right, so there's a good example that kind of condenses what we can do in this building. We've got, I mentioned, 5,500 members. We need to involve the members. We need to crowdsource our future, both through fundraising, like a Kickstarter. Who's interested in this model? Who's interested in the incubator to succeed? Who's interested in seeing the Aboriginal Film Fest get off the ground? We need to find our allies out in the city and across the country to help us with that. We're also, as I mentioned, grassroots, so that means we don't have a lot of staff. We don't have a volunteer coordinator and a fundraising department and a marketing department, and we don't have all that capacity. So we need to rely on people who care about that vision and know that contributing 4 hours a week or 8 hours a month, that they can help this project move forward. So one of our strategies is to think about a conference for our membership. So we're doing July 15th. W2 belongs to me.